Hello, my name is Peter Sovinc, I'm an architect. I'm going to present you a project called Termalija. Let me introduce you to our studio nota. This is the team with principals Dan and Milan in the middle. When I came to the office, the spa and sauna sections were already done. Since children are not allowed there was a need to build an extra part for them. The location is where a tent roof was before. This is the initial proposal done prior to my arrival. My first task was to add water slides, more specifically, how to hide them. One of many ideas was to build a pyramid over the slides. Soon we realized the geometry of the slides does not allow us to cover them properly, but the pyramids look great on a roof. The idea was interesting enough that we explored it further. The pyramids became tetrahedrons. Project went through many iterations and revisions. And here is the final idea proposal. And for the slides, we decided we'll simply hide them with the trees. The interior created a very interesting space. We presented renderings to the clients and investors. They really liked the idea and decided they're gonna go ahead with the project. This is a commercial project and its success depends on the popularity of the design. Once a project got a green light, we started resolving the architecture. The first task was how to solve the construction. We compared it to a previous project of our office for sense of scale and proportions. We made a 3D model to observe how it behaves. We realized it's folding into itself. To prevent this from happening, we added a middle structural piece. That piece locks beams into place. We made the overall shape of the steel into a dome. All this combined gave us a surprisingly good result. We are particularly proud of this one, since it was us architects that defined the shape, and the engineers only calculated the proper dimensions. The whole structure fits together like a giant 3D puzzle. This is what defines the final shape. It's like a giant toy in space. Even if it looks brutal, it's actually a very precise process. This structure is on a very tight tolerances. We were lucky because steel is a very precise material. It enabled us to achieve expected precision. Unfortunately, the same thing cannot be said for the concrete. This material is the opposite of steel. If steel is accurate into millimeters, concrete can be off for tens of centimeters. This is also due to a fact. We were requesting the contractors to make complex shapes that they were previously unaccustomed to. These are the actual plans that were used on a building site. It's an axonometric view of the triangles in space. We were particularly concerned how steel and concrete would come together. This is why we left some space for adjustments. Luckily, things ended up being within the acceptable tolerances. The next layer on top of steel is insulation panels. This is a 3D model of how they fit on a roof. Panels are ready-made pieces made off-site in a workshop. They are then brought to the site, hoisted with a crane into a proper position. The whole structure is asymmetrical, and each piece has a unique shape and a unique position. Everything needs to be coded properly, so they know which piece fits where. The interior cladding is done from a relatively cheap material. The nature of this material gave us some issues with installment. To deal with this, we increased the space between the panels from 1 cm into 3 cm. Here's the outer shell of the roof. It's made from a far higher quality material. The reason for that is it needs to withstand the elements outside. The precision here was therefore much higher, and we could work with much less spacing between the panels. This part of Slovenia has an alpine climate, and we need to take up to 1 meter of snow into consideration. The slides were done by Italian company, which gave us 3D model of their product. We had a lot of back and forth communication. We made an exact computer model of the supporting structure and space needed for the water slides. And here you can see how the water slides are being assembled in reality. Making a project is many things. One of them is getting proper amounts for the quotes. Here we are resolving a dispute about the concrete volume. It was drawn by me and the contractor, both sitting behind the computer to prevent any kind of cheating. We were lucky because numbers came very close to our estimations. We draw every project multiple times. We draw it for ideal proposal, we refine the idea, we draw it for renderings, we draw it to get proper quotes. Once we get the contractors, we draw it with exact dimensions and proper detail. And then, because real structure is sometimes off, we draw it once again with actual dimensions. And here you can see how the project is almost finished and how it's done. The divided roof made the project fit in its environment much better. People from Italy, Austria, Croatia, and other parts of Europe all come to visit. Swimming pools often operate at maximum capacity, and sometimes you need to book the visit in advance. Thank you for listening. My name is Sovinc. See you next time. Bye.